guys, welcome back to the channel. Mixed feelings here in the studios as the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League comes to a close. We've had such an enthralling week with loads of goals. I mean, it was such a beautiful contest looking at, the masterclass of talent and tactics on display, and it's been very, very interesting, as you can tell from the faces of my pundit here. Now we have Real Madrid, PSG, Bayern Munich, and Dortmund going through to the semi-finals of the competition. And joining me here in the studios, I have our regular pundit Chichi and our guest pundit DK, who will be joining us today for the analysis of the quarterfinals showdown. So without doing much of this one, let me quickly jump in. We'll be starting off with a big one, Manchester City versus Real Madrid. But before we do, let me quickly remind you, if you've not subscribed to the channel, kindly hit the subscribe button. It's Pro Sport Analysis on YouTube, and we welcome you into this wonderful family of amazing football fans. Now jumping right in, Real Madrid versus Man City. I would say this fixture gave us everything in football, what you will call an orgasmic feeling, and we will quickly want to hear from our pundits what they have to say about the game.
Okay, so yesterday, Man City sat home at Etihad to invite Real Madrid to their home.
Yeah.
And, we are all expecting a good game like we saw like that.
Yeah.
City hosting Madrid several times at the Etihad, which Madrid have never won before until yesterday.
Yeah.
So if you could tell, yesterday the game went in favor of Man City.
Yeah.
The statistics, everything showed that Man City had the upper hand of winning the game.
Yeah.
But once again, it is football. Everything happens. They dominated, played from the first minute to the 128th minute.
Yeah.
Played everything, but at the end, Real Madrid became the victorious in that game. And now they are moving forward into the finals, going to meet Bayern Munich. So let's see how it goes on that one too.
All right. So as he's saying, it was a festival of goals, especially in the first leg where we had a 3-3 all draw, and then coming to Etihad for the second leg, which ended in a 1-1. And I mean, yesterday, if you happen to watch the match, you would have expected that, this match, Charlie, the winner they be like me, they never whistle the final whistle. But unfortunately, it is football and it comes to an end. We had everything in it, penalty shootouts and all of that. Let me hear from Daniel DK and also hear what he has to say.
I think that going into the quarterfinals, it was the most anticipated fixture,
exactly.
Madrid, City, given that Man City was the defending champions, going into the game, and the two teams have also met a number of times in the past several years, and it has always been a tight fixture with so much to give to football fans. So it was the most anticipated game.
Okay.
They did not disappoint.
Both
teams gave their best on the field, and then they did their best, and then in the end Real Madrid won. You could say that it wasn't the best reflection of what actually happened in the game, in both legs of the fixture, but in the end, football is football.
Right. So in this game, we had two masterclass coaches in Pep Guardiola and Ancelotti battling it out. Of course, they've done it in previous seasons as well, where they've had several draws, and Ancelotti having a 1 win, in that 3-1 in last 2 seasons. Pep also having a 4-1 win at Etihad last season. This season, it was all draw, and Ancelotti took it away on penalties. Talking about this game tactically, how do you see the game?
You see, Madrid, they know even if they go Etihad, they will play. So tactically, they came to relax and become focused.
Okay.
So that we know that whenever you are playing against City, City will get a chance of playing most of the games.
Yeah.
So yours is to just tactically come with any good tactics that will favor you.
Okay.
Either defend, get a goal and defend, counter them when they lose the ball, once possess it.
Yeah.
And that is what happened in the game.
Mm-hmm.
You could see City doing a lot of possession, creating a lot of chances, and Madrid doing a counterback. Anytime they get a chance, you see that Vinicius and Rodrygo run towards their post, but You see, football every day it be the end result we eat here.
Yeah.
We all expected City to win yesterday to qualify at their home.
Yeah.
But at the end, penalty shootout, it came out that Madrid have to move to the next fixture.
Yeah. Yeah, and I remember how you were feeling when Madrid actually won on the penalties. I know you have a soft spot for Manchester City, but still talking about the tactics both coaches brought to the field. Of course, Guardiola, we know Guardiola to be more possessive. Ancelotti also has his own way of playing the quick counters and the transitions. Which of the two tactics really appeal to you in the game?
I think that in the first leg we could see the two styles of play that you have described more evidently.
Yeah.
Because then it was like it was just the first leg.
Yeah.
Nobody knew their stance yet.
Okay.
Going into the second leg, Madrid knew that it was a draw and they were going to play away. So they had to sort of like manage the game.
Yeah.
And then sit back a little and try to defend more so as to hold City. And then if they are able to maybe get a goal, then they can defend that to the end of the game.
Yeah.
So that they can qualify. So it was the dynamics was different in the second leg.
Okay.
But in the first leg, you saw that everybody went out to try to get the maximum results, to win the game. So that is when we actually saw these two styles play out to its maximum level.
Okay.
So we could see that Madrid's counter-attack football and transitional play was very evident, as well as Guardiola's possessive football, building the attack from the defense, right from the goalkeeper to the forwards, and then dominating the midfield. So that was very evident in the first leg. Yes, but I saw that in the second leg, Madrid, in my opinion, tried to manage the game.
Okay.
They didn't press as much as in the first leg. They sat back a little, and then once they had the first goal, the idea was to then defend the goal to the end.
Okay.
And I think they did a good job at defending.
Right. So you could see that both managers had their tactics on play, and it was working out effectively for them. Manchester City winning, dominating the game. They had over 800 passes. You could tell. I mean, for compared to Real Madrid's 400. But in the end, the scoreline was 1-1. After extra time, they had to go to penalties, and it was this time that Madrid showed their prowess and their dominance. Even playing penalties at away, they were still able to come out victorious. It's all happy moments for Real Madrid. Let's go also into this other part of the game where we look at the key players who actually impacted the game. We saw the likes of Rodrygo, Vinicius, Foden, even Valverde impacting the game in different ways, and we want to hear what you pundits have to say about that.
Yeah, so with Madrid, they came more to defend. In the game. So you wouldn't see enough of Vinicius than Rodrygo in such a game, because those two players are more like offensive attackers players. So if you are playing a tactical game which you are defending most, you won't see them performing. But with City, you could see KDB proving once again that Charlie, he's that guy. You give him a little space that he go get to be, he go feel punish you.
Okay.
So with KDB, he was perfect, and I don't really understand why Guardiola even made a change for him to set the Kovacic to come on. I don't know what Guardiola is seeing that we are not seeing on the side of Kovacic, because we can see that in his last Premier League match, he even substituted KDB for Kovacic. And we can say that it was because of this game. Okay. But we also saw in this game that he also changed KDB for Kovacic to come. So I don't know what he has seen that we are not seeing. But it was a great game. The players, they did their best. Edison from the City side, I think they did their best. It was just not a good lucky day for them.
Right. So there you have it. I mean, for Vinicius and Rodrygo, they were actually expected to pick up on the transitions. Madrid didn't have a lot of that because in Pep Guardiola's master plan, he always tried to manage the chaos in those moments, trying to hold the ball so that you don't get a lot of the ball to actually build up and create goals. But we still had Vinicius and Rodrygo combining to give us their first goal in the second leg. And even in the first leg, we saw a lot of that. Would you say that was an effective approach?
Yes, I think it was an effective approach that Ancelotti took to the game, because one thing that Madrid is known for is that they have very quality players who can make the difference. They can create something out of nothing. They have top class players in every department of the game. And this is something that we saw also in the first leg again.
Yeah.
An example is the Camavinga goal.
Yeah,
it was
out of
not
nothing.
Even a chance,
Exactly.
It was out of nothing.
Exactly.
They have the kind of players who are able to create something, out of nothing. They have a player like Madrid who can just create an opportunity from the center of the field, just give one line breaking pass to the forward, and then it ends up in a goal. So you can see also from the first leg the kind of goals that they scored. The first goal, like I mentioned, Camavinga, even Rodrygo's goal. It was just a transition. The pass was laid to him, and then he had to beat two defenders and then beat the goalkeeper as well. And he did a very good job at that. You get it? So there are moments like that for Real Madrid. There are always moments like that. But also on the other side of the coin, you can see that in the first leg, players in the Man City squad had to turn up especially in the first 11 because players like De Bruyne and then Doku were not playing. These are players who are able to create opportunities. De Bruyne with very creative passes, and Doku is also able to do the take-ons and create spaces and give the shot.
And I think we saw that in the second leg when he came on.
Exactly. So yes, I think that in the first leg, Man City did not have such creative players in the first 11. So also players had to turn up, and so we saw goals like Foden's goal from outside the box. We saw goals like Guardiola's goal from outside the box. So these goals were just the individual brilliance of the scorers. It wasn't so much like the City kind of goals that we see all the time. Like team goals. It was more like individual brilliance.
Wow, yes. So players turning up to take up the big moments and then make their names. Of course, if you're a player and then you want to make your name, you want to, rep yourself in the stardom and the Hall of Fame. These are the moments to do it. There is no bigger stage than the Champions League. And I mean, players like Guardiola and Foden and Bernardo Silva with that fantastic free kick will always go down in the Hall of Fame. We had a lot of beautiful goals as well, but let's look at the flops of the match. I mean, we didn't see a goal from the Haaland. This is the fourth time he's playing against Real Madrid, and we would have expected that at least we will see a goal from him, but that wasn't the case.
Haaland right now is really struggling, especially with Madrid and Rodrygo handling him both legs. You could see that he doesn't get enough space. He doesn't get enough pace to get the ball. Talk of even to control or even to shoot. So that be why you see the second leg. Guardiola saw it too early that he had to make a substitution for Alvarez to
also come on for the extra time.
Haaland this season, Ankasana, the big matches, he's finding it difficult in making us know that he's that guy. So he not being able to perform in this game, it's not that. How will I even put it? But it's
like a surprise for you.
It's not really surprise because this is the big games, or he's not really doing that much that we expect.
Could you say that it's probably because the coaches know his prowess, and so they come in with the tactics that will isolate him from the game? Like they take him out so that Manchester City are not able to link him up with the passes and the crosses.
So it's probably because of right now. You see, football is changing. Teams are learning. City right now, it's becoming difficult to them because when they are playing any big matches, the opponent closes most of their spaces and paces.
Exactly.
So when you are closing spaces for KDB, then it means Haaland is not going to do anything in the game. Because the balls has to come from KDB side to Haaland side. And we have a situation that KDB is not getting the space to release it to Haaland. So that's what will happen. Football is changing.
So you wouldn't blame Haaland entirely?
No, I won't blame Haaland.
All right. So all of you Haaland fans out there, I mean, there's no cause for alarm. There's no cause for panic. I mean, it's just the game. The coaches know his prowess, and so they always come up with an anti-Haaland tactic so that he's completely isolated from the game. And that is what we saw in the two legs where he had only few chances. I wouldn't even call that a chance, like half chances, and you could tell that was a masterclass setup against him. Now let's come to Bellingham, who is also the talk of town now. I mean, for England, it is a great boost for them in that they are expecting their player to actually give them the optimum performance in the upcoming Euros, and for them to see him progressing to the semi-finals, especially with his perfect penalty in the fixture, it tells you how good he is. But unfortunately, I don't think we saw a lot of him in this fixture, or we could say that he was the star man in the game.
Yes, I think that we didn't see a lot of Bellingham. The Bellingham that we've known from the beginning of the season.
Exactly, the one who has been producing those magic goals.
Exactly. Yeah. Also, yes. So, like we're discussing from the beginning of this show, the second leg was a different game from the first leg. So things were done. The dynamics was different. So you can realize that even a player like Foden,
he didn't really have his game.
He didn't really have his moments like he did in the first leg. And even in the first leg, it was like from the second half on that we actually got to see that Foden who has been shining this season. You get it. So also you can see from the changes that Real Madrid made, they changed players like Vinicius, Rodrygo. These are like their star forwards.
Okay.
And Rodrygo is their most informed forward this season. So if they are changing players like that, then you could see how the game was going. So Madrid was defending. Madrid was holding back. They were not pressing like in the first leg. They were playing like basically a middle block. And most of the players, including the midfielders and even the forwards, they were all defending and trying to manage the game. And they didn't get a lot of transitions like they did in the first one. In the first leg, they didn't get a lot of like counter attacks and things like that. So it was a difficult game for the Madrid midfielders, especially the attacking midfielders. So you can see players like we didn't see much of Valverde in the game. Like in terms of attacking, but he was the man of the match. You get it. So it means that he did a lot of defensive work. So you could say the same of all the Madrid players. And Bellingham is included. So we didn't see a lot of their attacking prowess, but then they did a lot of defensive work, and that is what got them the qualification.
The qualification, So the big players there, we expected a lot from them, but unfortunately, when you are playing in a top game like this, the intensity and all the pressure it puts on the players sometimes. I mean, for Bellingham, he just found himself in a midfield masterclass, and when you are coming up, young player coming up like that, and you meet the top class, it's always a difficult moment. We wouldn't blame them much. We only expect that going forward they will groom themselves, build themselves up, and give us the top performance that we were expecting all the matches. Congratulations to Real Madrid. They continue their campaign, for the 15th UEFA Champions League title. That is a record. Their 14 is already a record. They are in for the 15th. I mean, judging from the teams left in the competition, they are the favorites. They are the favorite. Manchester City, on the other hand, were actually on for a second treble in a row, and unfortunately, Madrid really killed this dream. Such a big blow for Pep Guardiola. I mean, with all that happened in the game, with especially Kevin De Bruyne's second opportunity, which he missed. I mean, it was very bad. But in all, I mean, it's a good game for him, and there's nothing to worry about. There's always a second time, and next season they can come up higher on this one. Right. So going on, we'll be looking at the second segment of the show where we take a review into the next fixtures, and so we will end this one here. Congratulations to Real Madrid. We wish them all the best, but I really hope that they don't make it to the final to take it the 15th time. That is too much, don't you think?
It's too much.
But what do you also think?
We ask you, Barca fan there,
they are in a whole league of their own. They don't have any tight competition, with regards to achievements in this particular tournament, the UEFA Champions League. I don't care so much if they take it, because I mean, they are far ahead. So it's not the same argument.
Right. Don't worry. My pundits are all Barcelona fans, and you wouldn't expect much from them in such a question. Of course they would expect Madrid to come out of the competition. Bayern Munich are not on top form, but we'll come to their match also and look at that. Right. So let's take a quick break, and when you come back, we bring your way the second segment of the show where we take a look at the match between Bayern Munich and Arsenal.